Restaurant workers of Reddit, what is the worst thing you have seen done to a customer's order? I know a guy that pissed in a bucket of pickles. He would have never been caught if he didn't talk about it. Did he get fired? Yes. The restaurant was also closed within a year. Word gets out in a small town. I gave them what they ordered. We were a pizza Italian bar restaurant. Our menu was ludicrously large and essentially anything that was on the menu that could go on a pizza was listed as a topping, probably 40 to 50 topping choices. I would get asked pretty often for a pizza with everything on it. I had a usual joke or two to find out what they really wanted. Typically a deluxe, but then they'd want no black olives or whatever. No big deal. Until the asshole came in that ordered everything and then proceeded to ask if I was retarded when I questioned him. My sister has disabilities, so I didn't appreciate his tact. Told my boss about it and he smiled and said get him a pizza with everything. Brought it out and gave it to him. He flipped out and demanded the manager, of course. My manager had my back and gave the guy's bill, which at $2 a topping was well over a $100 pizza. Guy refused to pay. Cops got called. Yada yada yada. I hope he enjoyed his pizza with clams, pineapple, buffalo chicken, broccoli, anchovies, green olives, cream cheese, cauliflower, jalapenos, shrimp. Same thing happened to me when I was cashier at a gourmet burger place. Guy wanted a burger with everything on it. I pointed out the giant list of toppings on the wall menu, but he scoffed and reiterated that he wanted everything. I read off each topping on the screen as I added it to his sandwich. This sopping beast included guacamole, fried egg, fried pickles, regular pickles, chili, a fried chicken patty, every kind of cheese and every kind of sauce. He happily paid around $30 for it. While he was waiting, he mentioned that it was for his pregnant bitch of a wife that was craving a burger with everything on it, and this was his way of basically punishing her for making him miss part of a football game on TV. According to YouTube statistics, 100% of people watching this video are actually not subscribed. Please subscribe. It's free and you can always unsubscribe later. Pretty please. Pour the whole tray of drinks over a guest, twice. International trade fair with students as waiters. First time was an accident. Second time she was so nervous she was practically shaking and spilled the drinks again on the same guy. I did this. Only once, but it was bad. Entire table of naval officers. They were very pleasant, but when we pushed the tables together it was a lot of people in a tight space. I came out with 8-10 large sodas on a tray. No problem, I've done this plenty of times before, and I tripped over a chair leg. The whole tray fell, mostly on myself, but one unfortunate fellow got soda all down his back. His whole uniform was soaked, cold, and sticky. I shriveled up and died inside. But he was so nice and understanding about it. Even left me a pretty good tip. Nearly cried when I picked up the check and saw that. Bonus story, that was at the beginning of my final shift there, not fired. It was just my last day, so I works another 8 hours all wet and sticky, squishing around in my shoes, smelling terrible. Right in the middle of the dinner rush we got another huge table, a big family with kids this time. I got their drinks out, successfully, then took a quick bathroom break between orders. The door to the bathroom was heavy and swung inward. Unbeknownst to me, there was a kid standing right behind it, and she took a direct hit to the face. I heard the thump, then a shriek, then I shrieked, and the entire restaurant went completely silent. I'm still dead with shame from that shift, 10 years later. I'm so sorry, Navy guy and small child. I had a buddy in McDonald's, a real chaotic type, who every once in a while would say, "Oh hey, guess what time it is? Pickle surprise," and put a whole handful of pickles on a random cheeseburger, lol. This genuinely made me laugh. I feel like this guy works at every McDonald's. I worked at a popular fast food chain in my younger years. It was my first time with closing shift and we were all doing our part to clean and prep the store. I see this lady with a mop and bucket come out of the back, slop it onto the griddle and start mopping it. I was appalled. I went and told the manager and she tells me, well, that's the quickest way to clean it, then scolded me for worrying about things that didn't concern me. I quit that job next day and then called the district office and told them what happened. That location closed down not long after. But the franchise still exists. I mean, there is such a thing as a grill mop, but it's absolutely distinct from a floor mop. Do not confuse the two. According to YouTube statistics, 100% of people watching this video are actually not subscribed. Please subscribe. It's free and you can always unsubscribe later. Pretty please. Worked in a fast food pizza joint. Nothing without consent of the customer happened, but customers asked some weird stuff. One time a customer asked for extra chili and emphasized a lot, so of course we put like a lot on it. Another person wanted chicken legs and wanted it extra crisp. He kept sending it back until it was pretty much burned, which is when he found it perfect. The worst one was a woman asked to put her pasta in a blender, because she had just gotten prosthetics and couldn't properly eat. It looked disgusting. How do I turn off the notifications for this thread? He kept sending it back until it was pretty much burned, which is when he found it perfect. Used to work in a TGIF, had an old lady on one table keep sending her steak back because it wasn't well done. By the time she was happy with it was practically charcoal, and she drowned it in ketchup. Tampering with food is not that common. I've been in the business a long time and only worked with one girl who spit in someone's food. Another server saw her and she got reported and fired immediately. The only other thing that sometimes happens is when people get cocky and ask for extremely spicy food, the kitchen staff turns into evil geniuses. A guy once asked me for wings so spicy that they would give a woman a miscarriage. I relayed those lovely instructions to the kitchen and I don't know what they did, but the sauce was burning my nose and making my eyes water as I carried it out. He was not able to finish his wings. Worked at McDonald's for a long time. Never seen anyone intentionally spit in anyone's food or anything like that, but it's definitely safe to say we've all eaten some burgers made without gloves or with contaminated gloves. Put on gloves, go on phone, make sandwiches. At my last restaurant job, my coworker would make very ugly sundaes for customers who were rude. For particularly nice customers, she would painstakingly recreate the sundaes in the menu pictures and give them extra cream and sprinkles. Pretty much this. I'll make what you order but will not put any love into it. If you're a decent human, I will try to make you the best version of what you order. I used to eat at my local diner a lot, and I always ordered a slice of cake for dessert. I tipped well, and got to know some of the staff. Over time my slices of cake got larger and larger, until one time, near closing, they just gave me the half cake they had left. Good times. One time we had a woman call back because her rotisserie chicken was burnt. I explained it's just charred because of the way it's cooked. She wasn't having it, so we agreed to get her a new one. 10 minutes after her husband left, she called back even more pissed, saying this one was worse. We told her to send her husband back again for a new one. The manager and I went in back, with gloves on, and scraped off all the burned parts. I shit you not, another 10 minutes after he leaves she calls again. But this time her rice didn't have any craisins on it, so once again I tell her to send them back. I dumped so many fucking craisins on that rice I think she got the point and we never saw them again. I know it's not super gross, but it's pretty rare to see someone maliciously fuck with someone's food. I have seen cooks use the 5-second rule when dropping food or not washing hands, but that's about it. In my 7 years in the industry, rice didn't have any craisins on it. Rice, craisins. Yeah, what? Never heard of rice and craisins together.